What's up, everybody? Wanted to talk about something that I think is kind of a big deal and something that kind of makes me question, the whole structure of the women's, strawweight division right now. And a lot of people might not think this is a big deal, but it's a big deal to me, and I'll tell you why it's a big deal. All right? Let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this. Gillian Robertson tapped out Rose Namajunas at Fury Pro Grappling 6 in 65 seconds. Submitted her with a rear naked choke. Here's the picture I was looking for. Now, why is that a big deal? Okay. I know it's not the same as MMA, but grappling is a big part of MMA. We all know this. Jiu-jitsu is a big part of MMA. And I know that Gillian typically fights, a weight class up from Namajunas, so I can give her that. But as Rose Namajunas is somebody that people look at as like, a lot of people think she should still be the champion right now. She lost her belt to Carla Esparza in a fight to where neither of them barely did anything at all. And a lot of people feel like she shouldn't have lost her belt. A lot of people don't care, whatever. A lot of people feel like she should have still been champion. And she's already beat Weili Zhang twice, who is the current champion. And Gillian Robertson goes out there and destroys her in 60 seconds, 65 seconds, rear naked choke. Now, why is that such a big deal? Once again, well, let me show you, man. Let me show you why that's a big deal to me. You know, I know she's a lot bigger. I know she normally fights, I think she fights at 125. Namajunas fights at 115. I get it. But the reason that's still a big deal to me is because you wouldn't think. Well, let's look. So here are all the top 15 rankings of the women's weight classes right here. Okay. Do you see Gillian Robertson's name on any of these lines? Let me save you the time. No, it's not on there. It's not on there. You wouldn't think that she would be able to go out there and run through the number 2 or what probably should be the number 1, straw weight in the world. Like it's nothing. And it just goes to show you that, fighters are capable of a lot. Some of these people are capable of a lot, and they never get that chance, to get there. They drop a bad fight, whatever. But if she ever did get a title shot, when Rose was a champion, or if she dropped down to that weight class, or if Rose went up a weight class, or whatever, she could possibly be a champion. People need to start putting some respect on my future wife's name here. Just kidding. Don't stand a chance. Um, but I find that crazy, man, because she's not even ranked in the top 15. She's been around forever. She's had a lot of good fights. She's beat a lot of tough opponents. I mean, it's just really surprising me. It kind of blew me away that she that she did that to Rose. I mean, I know her UFC career hasn't always been the best, but I mean, she's got wins over Marie Agapova. Obviously, she exploited the grappling there. It's crazy that she just ran through Rose in 65 seconds like that when, Rose appeared to be a pretty strong grappler in her last few fights. It just goes to show, I mean, the right time, the right place. I know it's not MMA. I know it's grappling. I know it's a little bit different, but it's still surprising to me. You wouldn't think that she would have made it look that easy. It's just a big deal to me, and it has me questioning, how good I thought Rose was, and I don't know, just a thought, just some thoughts, but some of the other things. Let's go through the. I don't know if y'all got to watch this or not, but it's actually pretty interesting. I know a lot of people find grappling boring, jiu-jitsu boring. It's a big part of the game, I've never fought professionally. I trained back in the day for a few years in my 20s, and now I'm old and my knees are shot and everything else and whatever. But I respect all parts of mixed martial arts. And it's really cool to see this stuff because a lot of these matchups, you wouldn't really ever get to see these. I know it's not MMA, but it's you get to see people's strong suits, and you got Chase Hooper defeated Clay Guida. I think he did a calf slicer, is what it was, which is extremely cool because Chase Hooper hasn't had the best run in the UFC, and he in his fight with who was that he fought? Claudio Puelles, I think it was. He looked like a killer out there, man, and like he had worked on his striking, and he was just this different fighter or whatever, and it must have just been a good day at the office for him, because in his next fight he went out there and just got straight destroyed by Steve Garcia. But here his strong suit is clearly his grappling, his jiu-jitsu, and Clay Guida, even though Chase Hooper's a tall guy, looked 3 times the size of Chase Hooper, during the weigh-ins for this stuff in the lineup, But then you got Joseph Pfeiffer defeated Eric Anders by decision, which basically just whoever got the most takedowns or whatever. It's that's how they score the grappling tournament, stuff like that, control and everything. And you got Andre Petrosky, a middleweight, defeating Owen St. Preux. He's been fighting at heavyweight, by decision though, wasn't it finished? Pat Sabatini defeated Alex Caceres, sub round one. Alex Caceres' ground game is pretty good, but he's not a high level. It mostly good with his striking, But he's been around long enough to where he can stuff the takedowns, he can last, but to the really talented guys can get him down, and that's kind of a part of his game you can exploit. But it's good to see all these people, working on their grappling outside of their MMA career, trying to compete and improve, some of their weak points in their game, Got Mike Mallet defeated Trevin Giles by decision. Nick Galante defeated Philip Rowe, majority decision. And I'm glad to see Phil Rowe doing this stuff because that's a big part of his game that he needs a lot of work on. And he's made it work for him. But if he had improved his grappling some, just a little bit more, he would be a lot. He's a tough dude. I don't want to say he'd be unstoppable, but he's a big guy with a long frame and good striking and big power. So if he improves his grappling enough to where, people can't take him down, he stands a good chance at going far in the welterweight division. Or is he at 155? He's in welterweight, right? He's at 170. Christos Giagos, I can't say this dude's first name. It's not in front of me. Kamchibekov is his last name. Christos Giagos, out grappling people. That's good to see. John Palat defeat Pat Barry. Not a lot going on there. It's kind of just a decision thing and whatever. But this stuff's fun to watch if you guys aren't into it or whatever. I'm sure there are sites out there that would let you bet on this stuff, but I don't think mine does. The one I use. I use a couple, but the one I mainly use, I don't think they do the whole grappling tournament thing. But yeah, guys, that stuff kind of blew me away. And there's another thing I wanted to talk about, another couple things while I'm here. And I'm super excited about this because I'm a big Adrian Yanez fan, also a big Rob Font fan. He's really impressed me at times. He's had a little bit of a rough go at it lately, but it's not like he's going out there and getting finished. He lost a decision to Marlon Vera. He made it through that 5 rounds, but he just kept getting caught with a big shot. He was landing the volume, but he just kept getting caught by big shots almost every round and getting dropped. He lost the decision. He lost to one of the greatest ever, Jose Aldo, by decision. So he's not washed up at this point. I guess he did have a little trouble making weight in his last fight. But Adrian Yanez he's on a fucking tear right now, man. And I really like this guy. And I've made money on him in basically all his fights in the UFC, whether it be through a parlay or whatever. And his last fight was awesome here. It was here in Texas, and he knocked out Tony Kelly, and the crowd was just going crazy. And unfortunately, I didn't get to be there for that one, but hopefully the next time he fights, and I'll be able to be there. But he's on a 5-fight win streak in the UFC right now, and he's gotten knockouts in almost all of his wins, all but one. So this guy's extremely exciting, and I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm probably gonna, go ahead and tell you right now, I'm probably gonna be putting money on Adrian Yanez. I'm curious to see what the line's gonna be. I'm curious to see if just because Rob Font's no joke, he's pretty good, and he does stand a good chance at winning because this is going to be a striking affair. They're not gonna fucking be wrestling each other. There's no way. But I'm curious to see if Rob Font with the experience, and he's kind of fought people the better competition. If they're going to be having him as a favorite, or they're going to give the guy on the 5-fight win streak with the knockouts the favorite position. But I'm really looking forward to this. They just announced it. Man, it's going to be all the way in April, so they got a lot of time to prepare for this. But I'm really looking forward to this fight. I'm super excited about it. It's going to be an awesome fight. Next, I just kind of wanted to go over the really, I mean, the I don't understand why they have the Bellator versus Ryzen and the Ryzen 40 thing separate on here, and I'm not sure if they were on the same night, so I don't understand if they were at two separate places or if they just separated them to because they thought people would only care about the Bellator versus Ryzen stuff. But so I mean, obviously it was a clean sweep for Bellator all the way across the board, which I don't think anybody expected it to be any different than that. I mean, everybody won. I was a little bit surprised that like some of them went to decision and that there wasn't some finishes in some of the the Pitbull fight, the AJ McKee. I don't think AJ McKee. I don't think he finished the guy. I think he went to decision if I remember correctly. Um, let's look at it real quick. Yeah, I went to a decision, 3-round fights. I mean, yeah, it's not for belts. You're used to seeing these guys fight for belts. But I mean, it was a clean sweep across the board. I think everybody saw it that way and, knew it was going to be that way. Just surprised, really, these guys didn't get finishes. And, I mean, they're all decisions. So obviously the competition isn't as horrible as everybody thought it was going to be. But the real reason I wanted to talk about this is because, like I said, they separated this. They separated the Ryzen 40 from it for some reason. And but if you watch my MMA news episode that I did, which is basically just me rambling on about a bunch of crap in the news and headlines I heard and everything. I did tell you on that, I wanted to do like a fighter to look into, to watch out for and check out, that's on the come up. And it's this guy that I mentioned, Junior Tafa, first round knockout, 4-0 now. I think I might have said he was 4-0 when I was doing my MMA news episode. But 4-0 now, and he's Justin Tafa's younger brother. He's in the UFC, and I guarantee you this guy's going to wind up in the UFC. I mean, he is heavyweight, but he does not look like heavyweight like his brother. His brother's looks a lot heavier than him, if you know what I'm saying. And I know Justin Tafa hasn't had the best run in the UFC, but that doesn't mean that you can count this guy out. I mean, he's 26 years old. He's 6'3", and he looks like he's in really good shape. And fighting at heavyweight. I wonder what he weighed in at. I guess they don't have it on here because he looks like he's probably like a 220, or barely over 200 pounds. Not like a super big heavyweight. But let's see. He's got all of his MMA fights have won by knockout. He's won by knockout. He had a boxing fight. He's got some Muay Thai and kickboxing fights. I guess he lost a couple kickboxing fights. And then transitioned over to MMA. But, I mean, he's looking good as of late and really impressive. And I'm super excited to see where he goes, if he sticks around with Ryzen or goes to Bellator or finds his way over onto the Contender Series soon. That'll be pretty cool to check him out. Just somebody to keep an eye on. And if you look, there was a couple. Oh yeah, John Dotson got a freaking awesome knockout. That was a crazy fight. The guy who was fighting, they didn't even look like they were in the same weight class. But John Dotson's so short and thick. The guy he was fighting was like super tall and really fucking skinny. And Dotson just killed him. Chased him down and killed him and took him out in the first round. And there was a guy that used to fight in the UFC on this card, Rogerio Bontorin. TKO, second round, got kneed, which surprises me because Bontorin was not a bad fighter, really, in the UFC. I mean, I'm not sure why he ended up getting cut because he wasn't on a super long losing streak. I don't know if he just couldn't make the weight. I guess he lost to last fight was the loss to Brennan Royval, and that was a pretty close fight. Um, so I'm not sure why he ended up getting cut from the UFC. I'm sure I probably read about it at some point and forgot, but I say keep an eye on these rising cards because they're not bad at all. I mean, they're a lot of good fighters over there. And another thing is I'm trying to get more into. I really enjoy watching ONE FC, and in my opinion, if you want to watch like some of the best strikers in the world, the Muay Thai fights that ONE FC puts on, are up there for me. I mean, those guys don't have to worry about the takedown. They go out there and they show you some really good striking and crazy kicks and everything, and it's super fun to watch. And I don't understand why they don't ever have any betting lines on any of those yet, but hopefully they will now that they're kind of getting into the American scene. They're on Prime now, Amazon Prime. You can watch them on there. Um, Maybe eventually they'll get around to that, and maybe eventually I'll be able to start doing videos on ONE FC and stuff like that. Because if you ask me honestly, I actually like ONE FC more than Bellator. It's probably not a popular opinion. I know they're not as popular, but I really like what they're doing and how they do like multiple things. They do the kickboxing, MMA, grappling, all that stuff. Excuse me. But they're super interesting to watch, and they just give you a variety of stuff. I mean, I know that apparently they have a pretty hard time, staying. They basically are throwing money away, is what I've heard. That they're at a loss every year, not bringing in any money and spending millions to not make anything back. But I hope it works out for them because I really appreciate what they're doing, and I like their setup and how they do things, and how they give everybody a chance because a lot of Muay Thai fighters are super talented. Like Rod Tang is awesome. He's amazing, and these guys don't get a chance to be on the on big cards and big events and everything like that. And they're some of the best fighters in the world. So it's cool to see ONE FC giving them a shot at it. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. Rant done. Um, Looking forward to hearing a maybe here in a week. I'll go ahead and do another updated uh, UFC Vegas 67 um, Imavov versus Gaslam updated, and with all my bets on it totally. And, because I know some of the fights have switched around. And if you hadn't watched my MMA news episode, you didn't see me go over those. So I'll do it again and I'll go over the fights kind of real quickly. And then I'll explain my bets and why I'm taking the people I'm taking. And, and yeah, so look forward to that. And if you want to see my bets and my picks, you can see them on Instagram at highkick_fight picks. And I've been posting stuff on there for a couple years. I always put my picks up on there. I always put my bets up on there. I don't charge anybody for bets. I'm just out here trying to build my brand and my name and all that. So I appreciate you guys for listening. I appreciate all you guys that have commented and stuff. I've had people find lines for me that I haven't seen yet. I've had guys correct me on mistakes that I've made, and I appreciate all of it. And thank you guys for being there and the support, and I appreciate it. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good one.